What's up, guys? Democrats in Congress are calling upon President Joe Biden to pass more executive orders and actions, 55 of them to be exact. And they also calling upon him to pass more stimulus checks to help us combat these increased gas prices. And this is your Build Back Better stimulus package and stimulus check update now. Take a look. This has just been all unfolding in the past couple of days. With legislation languishing, they're unable to get anything passed through Congress right now, and midterms approaching. This is a midterm election year. Democratic lawmakers are pressuring Biden to issue executive orders. We gotta get something done if we want to stay in control and in power. In Congress, progressive Democrats set out the list of executive orders to push Biden's agenda. Congressional Progressive Caucus has urged Biden to bypass the legislative logjam and give Democrats a record to campaign on. If Americans are gonna vote us back in control, we gotta show them what we've done something. Now, how Biden and Democrats can stack up legislative wins before November? Right now, they're strategizing. What can we do to show some wins to get voters on our side? A lot of people are saying, do executive orders, executive actions, and pass stimulus checks. What if we couple the two and there were executive orders and actions for fourth federal level stimulus checks? A lot of people say, is this legal? Well, take a look at this. Just a couple years ago, back in 2020 August, President Donald Trump made an executive order for unemployment benefits, and this was the LWA, Lost Wages Assistance Program. Trump did $300 a week for unemployment benefits and extended them out for 6 weeks. And he did this through executive orders and the legal questions surrounding Trump's new executive orders. They asked, is this possible? Is this legal? And it said Trump's actions appeared largely legal. They just didn't accomplish very much, which they say is the issue with executive orders and actions for money. The Congress shows the power of the purse. We need legislation to pass through more funds. However, the president can reallocate existing funds that have already been sent out but are unused. And that is exactly what former President Donald Trump did. With the LWA program reallocating existing FEMA funds to use for this LWA program, people are saying there's $800 billion of leftover stimulus provisions just sitting there from previous packages. President Joe Biden could easily grab that, reallocate it, and send out literally 2 stimulus checks, a fourth and a fifth of $1,400. Because there's over $800 billion just sitting there. Now, let's go ahead and dive into these articles and get you caught up in the latest. Alright, this article just recently came out that says how Biden and Democrats can stack up legislative wins before November. Yes, we're hearing they're strategizing, because right now, according to polls, it is not looking good for Democrats. It is looking like Republicans are going to take back control in Congress. Likely the House and the Senate, because even though Democrats control everything, they do so only by the slimmest of margins, and right now it's not looking good for them. Take a look. Democrats are increasingly at risk of losing control of Congress in the 2022 midterms. Public polls consistently find that Republicans have a solid lead in the generic vote for Congress and that the majority of voters disapprove of President Biden's job performance. Do you approve with this performance? Do you think that he should get another term? When we came to 2024, should Democrats be in full control to pass this year, or should it flip to Republicans? Let me know your thoughts down below. Now it says, in light of Democrats' decline in ratings and the failed attempts at passing both the Build Back Better agenda and voting rights legislation, the party needs to show voters that they can deliver. We're hearing they've got to get some wins on the board, positively. The president, vice president, and cabinet members have been traveling across the country to sell last year's bipartisan infrastructure bill to the American people. A laudable effort that should undergird an effective strategy for Democrats to begin to regain their position. So they're saying they need to emphasize that we've already done, but in addition to that, they need to get some more wins as well. Now, in order to protect against Republican insurgency in November, Democrats need to secure discrete legislative victories by coming together around a new, more practical domestic agenda that is focused on alleviating a few major problems facing everyday Americans. Put another way, the Democrats need to prove that they, the party with unified control of Washington, can and should govern. So they're saying they're gonna be pushing for more legislation. In addition to that, we're also hearing that whatever they can get done, progressives are saying just pass executive orders. Take a look. Progressive Democrats set out the list of executive orders to push Biden's agenda. And it says the left-wing Congressional Progressive Caucus unveiled its highly anticipated list of suggested executive orders on Thursday, outlining its strategy for Joe Biden to advance Democrats' policy priorities in the U.S. while much of his legislative agenda is stalled on Capitol Hill. Yes, they're talking about Build Back Better, and that stimulus package is one of the main issues. That bill was $3.5 trillion. It's been cut down to below $2 trillion. Progressives wanted to see $6, $7, $10 trillion. They wanted to have monthly recurring checks, unemployment extensions, child tax credits. All of that has been cut down. We're going to be seeing what they pass through. And they're also saying in addition to that, whether you can get through, we want you to pass executive orders and actions because we have already compromised on so much the American people see it, and we have to get things through if we want to stay in power. And it says the move reflects pressure from the left of the Democratic Party to try to keep Biden pushing an ambitious program of action despite setbacks. And as November's midterm elections are widely expected to favor a resurgent Republican Party, the list covers a wide range of progressive wish list items, including lowering healthcare costs, canceling federal student loan debt, and reducing America's dependence on fossil fuels. The agenda also calls for raising wages by increasing the threshold to be eligible for overtime pay and reducing police violence by establishing national standards for law enforcement officers. Taken together, these actions will have an immediate and meaningful impact on people's lives, lowering costs and raising wages for working people to provide urgently needed economic relief, advancing racial and gender equity by investing communities that have historically been neglected, and delivering on our promises, said Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, chair of the CPC. The list was crafted in consultation with 98 members, and they were all pushing for this to get done. So you heard the list. There's a ton of things that they're trying to push through, and right now they have added to that, and they want to see stimulus checks. Now, we will see if this is going to be added to the list of executive orders and actions. But these are all the things that are being pushed right now by the Democratic Party, not only to help, but also because they want to stay in power and they have got to get things done before those elections if they want to do so. So, that is the latest. All of this has been coming out. Just in the past few days, there has been a lot of talk about executive orders and actions, stimulus checks, more legislations, getting it all done before those elections. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'm expecting that there's gonna be a whole lot more rolling out, and we'll keep you up to date here on the channel so you know what's going on, and to share with you all the sources read directly from the articles so you can see it for yourself. But with that being said, thank you so much for joining me as always if you made it this far, and if you haven't already, don't forget to smash the like button below. I appreciate it. Also, leave your comments and share this out. Take care, and I'll catch you with the next one.